House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 4, titled King of the Narrow Seas. And this episode is great Game of Thrones once again. And it's weird because every even episode, I'm like, chef's kiss, this is amazing, I love this, I love that. But every odd episode, I'm like, they could have done this, they could have done that, I didn't like this and this and this and that, like last week's episode, right? Even though this episode gets icky, and it gets really damn icky, and I will talk about the icky stuff, and my reaction to those icky stuff, but this episode is great. It's great character moments. Daemon is still one of the best characters of the show, probably the best character of the show, because as much as he seems to be a changed man over a year since the events of last week's episode, he just is still that guy who just wants to give him the biggest fuck you in the history of mankind to his brother in a very icky type of way. And you're just like, dude, like, you're going to sink that low. Now, even though it's weird that the reaction wasn't the thing itself, it was what the thing itself meant in the long term, which felt really like your priorities are very straightened back then. Like, they were so fussed about the thing than that, right? Than the actual thing itself. Fuck it, I'm just gonna talk about it. Like, this is the first episode in this show that I'm like, you're gonna die and you're gonna die. Like, the king's clearly gonna be dead. The king's gonna be clearly be dead by the end of the season. Because he is failing away. He is alcoholic. He is, every time he sits on that throne, he cuts himself and has to lose a finger, or he has, or he has like stars on his back. I mean, episode 1, he has this like bruise from sitting on the throne because it's made out of swords. Cool idea on paper, bad idea in concept. But, peeling up pus off, icky, disgusting stuff. I'm like, this dude's just going to slowly die because of sitting on that throne. Like, that throne would literally kill you. If you don't have to fight any actual wars, it's a war on that damn chair that you're going to deal with. Which is just absolutely like, I'm happy that I sat one in Comic Con where it was literally not made out of bloody stuff, out of swords, let's say that. And the other guy is the knight that, Vera keeps, tagging along with, right? And I'm like, yeah, you're dead. What happens in this episode, your head's on a platter very soon. Like, if it's not next week, it's some point by the end of the season. That what happened in this episode, which I will talk about, you're dead. And, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it. So, in the episode, Vera is looking for a future king, a future husband, because she needs to be waiting for the goods for King's Landing, and her being an heir, she needs the juice heirs, at least. She needs a penis so the heirs can come along, right? That's the concept back then. So she's looking for possible candidates. It's like it's kind of like a medieval version of Tinder. Swipe left, swipe left. Left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 right, right. And some of these guys look like they're about to pop off any moment. Like, literally, they're about to die and drop on the floor when they're trying to say, "You shall be my bride. I will be a grateful heir. I will give you many heirs." Meanwhile, you have the youngest of the young, like a 12-year-old saying, "I shall be your grace. I will protect you in all casts and birth you children." I'm like, dude, first thing first, you're 12. You should be fussed about playing chess. You shouldn't be fussed about heirs and marriage and shit. But like, this show probably, like, I have only seen half of the original show, but this show, like House of the Dragon, feels so locked on yes, it's a fantasy show. Yes, there's dragons. But at the same time, we're going to show you what it was back then. Like, we're going to show you what childbirth was like in the very first episode back in those days. And we're going to show you what a royal situation was when it comes to marriage, and how much of the age difference was. And sometimes, probably most of the time, it was massive age difference. And when those things happen, two things go into my head. One is, oh, that's cool. Thank you for the history lesson show ones, in not a patronizing way, just like, oh, yeah, that's what the world was back then. But at the same time, you're like, thank goodness that we don't live in that world anymore. And more examples of thank goodness that we don't live in that world anymore, and that is this. Game of Thrones is known for a lot of things. It's known for its battles, it's known for its characters, like the Starks and Lannisters and the Targaryens, and it's known for its White Walkers and dragons and its incest, and you did not misheard me, I said incest. Because this episode has incest in it, and the weirdest shit in the world is when it happened, I should go, oh, what the fuck, dude? Daemon, she's your niece. This is, no, you should not do this. Bad Targaryen, bad. Shame, no. But my reaction is, oh, it's Game of Thrones. Of course it is. Like, Jaime and Cersei Lannister made me so used to of that was this show. This is what the universe is. People did that, and they did that more. That was a common practice back in those times. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, I should go. But in reality, I'm like, it's Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones. Incest is a thing in the show because set in the most medieval times, and it's meant to be realistic along with the dragons. It's like, god damn it. But I'm like, and the weird shit in the world is, right, is that when the king confronts Daemon about the situation, he's not fussing about, like, he mentions it, but he's not fussing about that he almost had sex with his niece, aka the king's daughter, but that she's not a virgin anymore. Her innocence are gone. How can she possibly wed? How can the kingdom be stable now, knowing that heirs is not innocent anymore? You're like, dude, your priorities should be the other way around. I think you should be fussing about that your brother almost fucked your daughter, and that more than she's no longer a virgin. But at those times, those were a thing. Those were the times, and it's just one of those situations where the more you go, oh come on, dude, you should be fussed about this. At the same time, you just have to go, this is a medieval show. This show's set in the medieval times. Like, it's just, those were the things that they talked about. They were more fussed about this than that. While they should talk about the other thing. They should talk about B as A and A as B and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, the last thing I'll talk about is, and for humor's sake, I mean making fun of the whole episode, but I have really enjoyed the episode, even with the icky stuff in it. But I'm going to talk about this knight, that guy. The knight that Vera has been tagging along with for the last couple episodes, right? Well, the thing is, she's in the mood. She is wearable. She has a sense of adventure, and she has sex with this said knight. And I'm like, yeah, the moment you saw her boobs, you're dead. You're dead. Her innocence are gone, as the king once said. She's no longer a virgin. And I'm like, yeah, your head's on a pike very soon. You're gonna get cavalcated by the end of the season. But I couldn't help but laugh during the scene because, Like, it's a scene that we have seen 1,000 times where you have two people who are about to have sex and they're in the mood, they're making out, and they're about to take each other's clothes off, right? And it's normally in modern day clothing. But because it's said in medieval times, it's hilarious that because it's layers on top of layers. Like, fuck Sweck's, onions of layers metaphor. We should use, like, you know how it has layers? That fucking medieval stud, that has layers. There's like, there's a part where she takes off his gloves and trying to be, like, smooth and sensual and trying to be, like, and I'm like, this is like too much. Like, the comedic side of things is like a guy trying to take a woman's bra off, and he's like, oh, how to fit it in. Back then, it's like, how many lasers does one man need? Those shoes. Those bloody shoes that have like 45 laces. Now these days, it's like, trying to get the belt off. Like, it's like, you couldn't help but laugh. This is more of the comedic version of, thank goodness we don't live in those times anymore. Like, that should be a segment of every episode now on of this show, and that, or any Game of Thrones show, and that is, thank goodness we don't live in that world anymore.